again, everybody. It's Todd Sturridge, the Horror Nerd, here at Pennsylvania HorrorCon in Allentown, Pennsylvania. As always, I'm having a great time at the convention. Being a horror fan who just gets to do some cool stuff, I always have a blast at these things, especially at this one because I get to meet a lot of people I have never met before. And speaking of which, I have the chance to talk to the lovely and talented Hanna Hall. Hanna, how are you?
Hello, I'm well. How are you doing?
Doing great. How are you doing at the convention so far? Are you having a good time?
So far, yeah, I got in really late last night, so I haven't seen much other than this room and my hotel room. But yeah, it's been great. It's been really nice.
So far,
met a lot of people this morning. That was fun.
Everybody has said that. I guess the flights all got in late last night, so welcome to the tri-state area.
We'll make up for it tonight.
Exactly. So Hanna, you in Rob Zombie's Halloween. What was it like stepping into such a storied franchise that is now, being remade?
Yeah. Well, I definitely have, love the original. And it was interesting to get to play this character that, had a really small moment in the original, but obviously a big impact. So that was really cool to get to do. And I don't know, I think Rob is a very trustworthy filmmaker, so I felt very comfortable in his hands,
That's cool. So what was it that was memorable for you about the original, other than, it's Halloween?
I just remember it being really terrifying in a different way than I had ever seen, different style, I guess, of bad guy. He was the original, to start that whole thing where it's like you don't really know, what they're doing, so it's even more terrifying,
What do you think makes a true horror icon like Michael Myers? It's 40-something years on, and people still associate with Michael Myers.
Well, I guess it's the same thing. Like, there's something that I think one could place many things over that character, and it's kind of, he embodies like just fear and terror in this very broad way, which allows, I think, a lot of different people to connect to it.
Yeah.
There's something terrifying about not being specific. Not understanding somebody, right?
Sure.
There's chaos in that.
Sure. So I love asking this question because it's like always 50-50. I love asking people who are in horror movies, are you yourself a horror movie fan?
I love horror film, but it's not my favorite genre, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would be?
Well, I really, in terms of books, and I really like fantasy, but not cheesy fantasy, I was very excited when Game of Thrones started. I thought that was a really high level, which I hadn't really seen much of done. So yeah, that's what I love.
That's a good answer, because I myself am a fan of high fantasy.
Yeah.
So Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
Wheel of Time, that kind of thing. So all right, we can bond over that. So what are you working on these days? Any new projects coming up?
I work in film production now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an intimacy coordinator. For film and TV. Yeah.
I had never heard of that until my daughter's a theater kid.
Okay. Yeah.
And they did Footloose. So there's some scenes, she played Ariel, and she's like, oh, Dad, so the intimacy coordinator said it. I'm like, wait, the what?
Yeah.
So that was a whole new thing for me. So I don't know whether I don't know how I feel about it, the fact that we need that because people don't know how to interact. I don't know.
It's like a stunt coordinator, right? You're making something that is fake look real. So that's one part of it, is there's choreography and involved, and you wouldn't do a stunt without a stunt coordinator for safety reasons, right? So I think of it very much the same way.
Okay.
And I think that it's an additional creative position that can help the director achieve their visions. I think people do feel uncomfortable talking about sex often, and you don't know what somebody's life experience is or whatever, and how they feel about it. So to have someone that can give you the language, can break open those scenes and discuss them, and talk about the creative character development, story development element, instead of it's like, okay, they have sex, now moving on. Make that a rich part of the story. It's a huge part of our lives, sexuality, right?
Sure.
So yeah, it's a lot of different things. So it's just somebody who has just the purview of those elements, and then I can also separates the actors. Like the inherent power structure of a director or producer asking to do something. If it's me, you might be more likely to be like, hey, I'm actually not comfortable with that. And I can be like, okay, great. Let's all creatively work around it, you know? So yeah, it serves a lot of purposes. And it's hard to get naked at work.
I work in IT,
awkward,
so it is definitely frowned upon, I must say.
Yeah,
no, that was a great answer. Nobody ever really explained it to me like that, you know.
Well,
but
it's
that
also
is a great
so new.
answer.
I think that it's still figuring out what it is. I like to look at it as a creative thing, you know. Not that we have to be involved with, you know, it's up to the director, obviously, how much they want to work with you creatively, but you're there to support that vision, you know, so.
Sure. And I, having watched the sheer number of movies that I've always wondered about that. Like, when people have to be intimate on camera, because there's 100 people in the room, right?
Yeah, well, ideally not 100 people, but yes, of course, there's crew members there.
Yeah.
Someone with a boom standing over you and someone operating the camera, you know, that's part of it. So yeah, it can be very hard. It's not an easy thing to do, you know, and also you had to work with somebody, another partner, pretend maybe you've been married or that you're in love with someone that you might not even like, you know?
Right.
So I find too, like, all the prep that goes into it makes those scenes go really very efficient, so we don't have to do them over and over. We don't have to have an actor show up on set and realize that they've been expected to do more than they knew, and that also, you know, it just, you know,
cool.
Done well, you know. Yeah, that's.
God, now all of a sudden I have like 1,000 questions about it. We could stand here all day.
It's a very fascinating job.
It is.
I love it.
But I will only ask one. Have you ever had a scenario where one or the other was like, no, I'm willing to go further, you know, to make this, to sell this, you know? No, you don't have to hold back. Let's make this look real.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like it's a weird line, right? Because, I mean, you are very close with another human being and like almost naked, so there are barriers on and everything. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a hard line of like pretending versus being technical, and you know, so yeah, you kind of just have to make sure that everybody understands what the boundaries are and that it's not really sex.
Right.
Because sometimes people can get carried away. But or the opposite, making somebody feel comfortable to be able to, you know, be in that position. So
sure. Well, now talking about this, it brings to mind there's a famous movie called Don't Look Now with Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, and their sex scene was so convincing. People were like, "Did they like actually do it?" So that became like a Hollywood story. Yeah. Like they actually made love on screen. So. Talking about it made me think specifically of that movie. So
yeah, there's a lot of those stories. And you know. Yeah.
So it's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, was there ever? And I promise this is the last question. Was there ever an incident where it became like really like challenging or stressful, like where there was some bad interaction?
I think, and it might not even have anything to do with anyone else or the other scene partners or whatever, but it's sometimes people have been through some really fucked up stuff, you know, and it can be very triggering. So yeah, I definitely have seen moments where a certain thing that we were doing really triggered this person, like something really bad that had happened to them. So they were not comfortable doing it, and so we had to just bring in a double. And
interesting.
And you know, ultimately, this person is like, why would I? No one's going to care about me once this movie is over. So why would I risk, you know?
Sure.
Putting myself in a traumatic situation if I don't, you know, for 100%. A movie. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, no,
we're
100%.
Not curing cancer.
Yeah. Huh. All right, okay, I'm done. I promise.
I love talking about it. I love my job.
No, that's great, and it really comes across that you enjoy it. So, one last question. I always love asking this question because I get so many different answers, especially now from someone who's on the other side. If there was one piece of advice you could give someone who wants to come up in the movie business, either in front or behind the camera,
you have to love it. You have to love it. If you love it, then you will keep going until you get to wherever you want to go. Because it could take a very, you know, because so much of it is luck. and timing, you know, and you just have to keep going if you really love it. If you don't really love it, do not do it. Please save yourself.
Words of wisdom, everybody. Hanna, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time. It was great to spend this time with you, and thanks for the insight. That was really cool.
Yeah,
I had
nice
never
to meet
really
you.
talked about that before, so that was great stuff. Hanna Hall, everybody, here at Pennsylvania HorrorCon in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I am Todd Stewart, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.